Hello, I'm Paul.
I'm Adam.
And I'm Ben.
And welcome to the Film Busters podcast. The film show with no filters, no prisoners taken, loads of disagreements, but one hell of a love for cinema.
If you want to hear three friends ridiculing each other for an hour or so regarding their taste in films, then you have come to the right place.
In each episode, one of the team picks a film for us to discuss. It could be anything from a recent cinema release to an all-time classic.
So, strap in and get ready to get mad or get vindicated as we guide you through the murky world of being a film geek.
If you like what you hear, you can also find us on Twitter and Instagram using @FilmbustersPod. You can also find each of our individual accounts. I'm at Filmbusters Paul.
I'm at Filmbusters Adam.
And I'm at Filmbusters Ben.
If you want to use your eyes instead of your ears, you can also visit the website at filmbusters.pod.co.uk.
And if busting makes you feel good, you can also support us at patreon.com/filmbusters for exclusive content.
Alright, can we just get on with this now, please?
Filmbusters.
We all got together yesterday. How lovely that was.
We did. It was so nice. Just no worries, just sitting there, having a chat, having a drink.
Beautiful.
Just being in each other's company.
Truly lovely.
7 years.
Didn't even realise, that was the funny thing. We didn't even acknowledge that we'd been podcasting for 7 years. It was only like at the end of the evening when it was like, oh, and that was also like our 7-year birthday in a weird way.
Wow, that's flying, man.
We released our Return of the Jedi, or whatever that film's called. What's it called?
Return of the Jedi, isn't it? No.
Okay.
Last Jedi.
Last Jedi. We released that on December the 17th. So in all likelihood, we were probably recording it this day 7 years ago. But this is the 10th of December, folks.
We had a nice curry, didn't we? Had a nice curry. We went for some drinks beforehand in a nice craft beer place that you love.
It's just one that's near Adam, and it's pretty good.
Ben was getting very
It was
excited
nice.
about it all.
What'd you say, Adam? Whispering over there?
I'm very excited about it all.
Adam's like 1 metre away from his mic.
Yeah.
I'm actually very close to it.
Can't even actually hear him in the headphone, let alone what the listeners are going to hear when they listen in the episode. Friend of the podcast, Rasco, pointed me in the direction of 2 8%ers, which was delightfully received.
We drunk it down.
Drunk it down. We went for a curry. What did you have, boys? Tell the listeners and the patrons what we had. We dined out on patron cash.
Yeah, thank you, patrons, treating us. We felt like royalty.
Yeah, we were acting like royalty. We were out there. Oh yeah, dude, the patron give it the money.
It was Le Grand Bouffe, as we said.
It really was. Yeah. Adam was wearing a tiara, diamond earrings, very very demure and elegant. He was looking. Paul was wearing a toe ring.
A cravat.
Yeah, and a toe
ring.
And he kept his foot on the table the whole meal. And I was just in t-shirt and normal clothes.
You're like, what are you guys doing?
Anyway, we ate like kings.
Absolutely.
We filled our bellies. We came home. We rolled into bed. We rolled out of bed this morning and we got up to give everyone more content.
Yes. Wonderful bloody content. And it's all because of you wonderful listeners. You gave us that wonderful time and we give you this wonderful stuff in return.
Yeah. Check it out. You want to play a little game?
Yeah, let's play a little game.
The game is, which of you said this in your letterboxed review?
Okay.
And also, what film were you talking about? Are you ready?
Okay. Yeah, let's do that.
Who said, the film is atmosphere personified, so immersive, and the more you immerse, the more you get from it. Wonderful filmmaking on so many levels. So much enjoyment from a film I would hate on paper.
That is Ben.
No, I'm not in it. It's one of you two.
That doesn't sound like something I'd write, so it must be Adam.
It's Adam. But what is the film? What was atmosphere personified, so immersive, wonderful filmmaking, and you got so much enjoyment from a film you would hate on paper? And you gave it a 9 out of 10.
Atmosphere, hate on paper.
Watched it May 2022. I don't know if you've seen the film, Paul, but it came out in 2022.
Okay.
Oh, you have seen the film? Yeah, you've seen the film. Okay, here, for context, here is Paul's review.
Okay.
See if you can get the film. Hang on, I need to drop out certain names. Due to the exposure of certain reviews, I was really led to believe that this would lean a lot heavier into the thriller/horror genre than it actually did, which would be certainly more my bag, though what we did get was all still wondrously claustrophobic and rage-inducing. And your final line was, this all culminates into an ever so bittersweet conclusion that feels overly hopeful, yet evidently tragic. Come on, boys, these are your words.
Oh, shit. Oh, Spencer.
Correct.
Yes.
There you go.
I was trying to think of what is horror, but not horror.
Yeah.
Like, it gives you that feeling, claustrophobia. Yeah, there you go.
Very good. Do you want one more? One last one.
Go on then.
Who said this? Despite at its heart being a pretty bog standard action comedy, adding and a willingness to go all out with his truly takes the film to another level.
It's me.
It is you.
What year did it come out?
2022.
Same year.
The second words that I redacted was eccentricities, Paul. So you said, and a willingness to go all out with his eccentricities. I removed that because I thought that would give you it. Who's one of the most eccentric actors you can think of?
Oh, I know what it is. It's The Unbearable Weight of whatever it is. Yeah.
Well done, boys. Well done. That's a little preview as to what my quizzes might be like next year if I should win the quiz.
There you go. That'd be nice. Well, before we get on to the actual quiz, let me just say we got a Patreon at www.patreon.com/filmbusters where you can get exclusive episodes. You can come on the show and you can have a wonderful time with all those wonderful people. We're doing an episode after this episode. What are we doing? It's on Adam.
Or is it ambiguous endings?
Julio brought it to us, didn't he?
Yes, off the back of our Donnie Darko episode, he thought, hey, that's got kind of an ambiguous ending. Hey, why don't you talk about some ambiguous endings? So that's what we're going to do. So,
Donnie Brasco.
Yeah, Donnie Brasco, that's ambiguous.
Yeah, we got to do Donnie Brasco.
Does he go to jail? Or does he go to jail?
Is he a good guy or a bad guy? Donnie, if you're a fucking rat. You can't see what I was doing, but I put the gun to his head. Great acting by Pacino in the car at the end. If you're a rat, Donnie.
I need to see that film again. It's been so long.
Michael Madsen. I saw an interview with Michael Madsen the other day. He was just tearing into Johnny Depp, saying that guy I fucking hated making that film, and that guy I just hated working with him. Like, Mads Mikkelsen, you do nothing, mate. Yeah, I'm sure he hated working with you, Mads.
Mads Mikkelsen?
One note, Pete. Oh, no, not Mads Mikkelsen. What's the other guy's name?
Michael Madsen.
Yeah.
You said the right one first time, then you said Mads Mikkelsen.
I went mad.
You went Mads.
Mads Mikkelsen and Michael Madsen must do a film together at some point. Imagine that. Who are you after? Mads or Mikkel? Michael Mikkels. Anyway.
Should we get on to the quiz?
Yeah.
Okay, everyone, we do a quiz every episode where I ask Ben and Adam 2 questions. If they get them right, they get the points. If they get them wrong, I get the points. It's always on the film we're doing, so today it's on the happiness of the Katakuris. I got 2 questions, maybe a third one if you want it. But do you want to know the scores?
Yeah, what's the scores?
So, Ben, you're up front on 20.5. I'm in second place on 19.5.
Wow.
And Adam, you're in last place on 14, so you're not going to make it.
I could do.
You're not going
There's no way.
to be riding ahead in this episode.
You just have to make 5 questions in the last one.
Well, this is the last one.
I feel like this is the last one, yeah.
This is the last one.
I think we're at a point now where we can say this is the win.
And let's do 3, Paul, because that means if one gets dropped,
a clear winner. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do that. I still want you to put your all in, Adam. Here we go. What is the name of the guest house?
Oh, not a clue.
You know what? I thought it was going to be a question. And I was keeping an eye out for it. I don't think I actually saw it.
Oh, interesting. It actually goes to me.
Well, look at that. Who was it? What was it?
White Lovers. The White Lovers guest house.
Wow.
Yeah. They said it multiple times. I think they even sung a song about it.
White Lovers? I don't remember.
Yeah. Well, point for me. We're riding on the same points.
Wow.
So.
Oh dear. Let's go. Fucking hell.
What is the name of the Katakuris dog?
Poochie.
Oh, shit.
Oh, God. Adam got it.
Adam's sneaking some points right at the end. Damn.
You're on the 15.
Yes.
15, Adam.
Congrats on your points. This is it. This is the decider, Paul.
You have to get this.
But if I don't
if
and Adam gets it, what does that mean?
Then Adam's got to ask a question.
Oh, okay.
Adam's got to ask a question.
Okay.
Okay. I think someone's going to get this question. But here we go. Please keep trying, Adam. What did the dad sell before he was fired?
I have a feeling that it might be this, but I don't know for sure. So I'm going to say shoes.
Benny, you've won the quiz.
Oi! I did that on instinct. I can't even remember. I can't remember. I just had a feeling he sold shoes. I feel like the wife was saying something about selling shoes to him at one point.
Yeah. He worked in a department store and he got let go and he sold shoes. So there you go.
Wow.
Benny, you actually won it and it's your go anyway. So.
Oh, good. Well, you'll be prepared for all the questions about colours on posters.
Oh, yes, please do.
Yeah. Every one will be about the colours on the posters.
I can't wait.
That's a throwback to our Birds of Prey episode, listeners.
It is. It's a throwback to Adam's colourblindness, just in general.
There you go.
Right. There you go. No point in saying the points. Ben's won.
Thanks.
Well done, Ben. There you
Cheers.
go. Should we talk about this film, The Happiness of Katakuris?
Let's finish up 2001.
2001. Let's do it.
お客様お客様お客様おい正行鍵持ってこい鍵違いかこれうちの鍵おあ大変だ
お父さん
大変
警察呼ぶ
落ち着け落ち着いてくれ一生はないのかナイフ持ってるんならなんでナイフでやらないよっぽど無念だったんじゃろ
Right, everyone, today we're doing The Happiness of the Katakuris from 2001, directed by Takashi Miike. This is a spoiler episode, so if you've not seen it, you might want to go watch it first, then come back and listen, because it's a bit of a wild ride, so you'll probably be a little bit confused when we start talking about it. There's no people we've done in the podcast before, actors or directors, so it's first time for everyone here.
Look at
that. So, Adam, you want to tell us a little bit about this film? What's it about?
This is about a guest house set in the mountains of Japan, and loads of the guests die.
True enough. True enough.
That would have been a better background blind plot summary than the one you did last episode, Ben.
Yeah, probably right. The plot summary I gave at the end of Donnie Darko was a very literal interpretation of certain events that went on, but did not all encompass what this film was about.
Yes, I'd say so.
Yeah.
Ben, you got any facts about this film?
No, I don't. I couldn't really find too much about it.
Okay. Should we just go straight into our first impressions then?
I think we should.
Okay, well, this is your pick, so you get to decide the order of the first impressions.
As I said at dinner last night, Adam's going to go first. And then you, Paul, and then I'll go.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think there's much that can prepare you for this film. It's bizarre, but in very good ways, in very enjoyable ways. It's almost like a pantomime that has crossed over with like a sitcom. It felt like that a lot of stages crossed with obviously a musical. I was enjoying this film for large parts of it, but it did drag on too long in my opinion, and it started to really drop down towards the end. It was probably about half an hour too long, which I think is to the film's detriment. It just didn't have the legs or the intrigue to keep you going for that long. So I started off enjoying it, but by the end of it I was like, can this please be over?
Can this please be over? That's his final lines. I'll be very interested to know about your thoughts, considering you're not really a musical man, even though you're a very musical man, but you don't like musicals, man.
Very good.
Do you want me to just go?
Yeah.
Okay. From the off, I was just like, what is this TV movie aesthetic? Like, the camera work looks so cheap. The effects were just jarring. It's like with a sudden switch between the mediums, like it's plasticine kind of effect, and then it's just like the real life of humans. It was just like, it was hitting such an odd tone that I really couldn't work out what the hell I was getting into. And then this man kills himself in the hotel room, and the Katakuri family do an all-out musical number that felt like part anime, part professional theatre piece, and fuck me, I was in. The groove was set, and I just rode that wave all the way through. It's such a unique sense of humour that is just so enjoyable. This jarring sense of hilarious death with beautiful quite heartwarming love songs next to them, and you literally can't predict what is going to happen next. You're constantly on your toes, but it's because you're so wrapped up with this oddball family, and that is something this film does incredibly well. It makes you fall in love with these strange characters, like the husband and wife dynamic, where you get these funny 80s ballads, the kids with their weird quirks, and this fake soldier character Richard Sagawa, who's just hilarious, and the granddad, oh man, he's just fantastic. And towards the end, we get this fake out death scene, but it's quite a beautiful moment in its own right, just confronting this love for a son they were always trying to struggle to see the good in. And then it's fake out and it's funny, but it's whoa, I felt that emotion then. It's what's going on? And then my god, the granddad at the end, it was silly, yes, but I was also, it was just so close to home in my own granddad dying so recently. It was super fucking sweet, man. It hits you while you're not prepared for it, with this generally beautiful moments, either begin, and then these moments that are beautiful just either beginning or ending with this absolute batshit moment. It's so unique, it's so charming, so weird, and fucking funny as hell, and I thought it was bloody wicked.
Wow. I said last night I couldn't tell you which way I thought you were going to go. You could either really like it or really hate it. And I'm glad that you liked it, because I liked it too. Very
there
delightful to find out that it was kind of like this weird musical, which I did not know. And yeah, they break it on you in the most unique way when they discover that man who's killed himself, or the man who's dead in the room, and they go in and they start singing the song about suicide. I was like, fuck me, this is hilarious. This is very, very funny. And it's hard for a film in another language to do a musical that works, but it does work because the musicals are each musical song is so visually exciting, and it's kind of telling the story through the actions as well, even if it is that Richard Sagawa floating around in the air and shit. And I'm sure that was meant to be Richard Gere of some sorts as well. And fucking ridiculous things like connecting him to the royal family. I know it was a scam, but him making out like he was the nephew of Queen Elizabeth, and also saying that he was connected to the US Navy. How do those two things marry up? Lots of weird humor, lots of Miike madness, really. I don't think I've seen a Miike comedy before. I've seen obviously Audition, and I've seen some of his other alternative stuff. I saw a very good film at London Film Festival about 4 years ago something Love. I can't remember what it's called, but I've never seen him do a comedy, and he was very good at it. It blends the three things. It blends the extreme style of Miike with comedic leanings of Miike, and also this fantastical musical world. I very much enjoyed it. It's hard to give summary opinions on it because it's such a fucking wild film. It's got to be experienced, but I'm glad it is our last film of the year on the podcast, because it
definitely.
It summarizes the magic of international cinema as well. And I know that I've picked a lot of international films this year, but it kind of captured a lot of the components of some of the past ones that we've seen. I mean, this is the beauty of Japanese cinema. How different was this to Kids Return, for example?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
Depth and breadth of it. It was great. Yes, it was great. Let me tell you, now that we come out the first things, what did you boys feel up until the point? So you get the claymation scene right off the bat. Mm-hmm. All right. And then we get this introduction to the characters and stuff like that. When was the first, after putting claymation to the side, when was the first time that you realised, okay, this is not going to be a normal film?
When he threw the stick at the bird.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true.
That is a good... Well, yeah, claymation aside, yeah, it is probably that stick, because it's like so off the wall, batshit, like, what is this? And because you just have these like very obscure things in this, you introduce this family, you don't really understand what the whole point of this thing is, and then there's this pixie, and it's like, I don't understand the link between any of this. I still don't understand the link between any of it. But it's like, yeah, it's just so many things coming in at you at once that I could not get a grip of what was going on until suddenly, yeah, it is literally the point where they find the body and they start dancing. I was like, fuck, this is it. And now I know I can ride this because I know what I'm experiencing. It's almost, right, like obviously not, but like a parody scary movie where anything random could just happen at any moment, and that's like the humour, but it's done in a very like heartfelt and like good way that rides a very good line.
Yeah, it's not like actual comedy, but it's comedy at the same time.
Yeah, it's like off the wall comedy. It's like they're going down. They've killed this guy, and they've got the body over their shoulder. They're about to bury it, and they're doing this like walk, and it's like they're about to start a dance number. It's like, what is going on? But it's like so fucking great.
So I didn't realise this until after the fact. I didn't want to say it before we spoke about our first impressions. It is a remake of a Korean film, South Korean film, that was made about 10, 15 years before that treated it seriously. So it wasn't a musical, and it was that story. I think it was like a black comedy, but it wasn't like what Miike did here. So I'd be very intrigued to see that original.
So, in some senses, that almost sounds like it's the parallel of Scream and Scary Movie.
Yeah.
Like, how close is it to this original film? Is it actually parodying stuff that's happening? And we're not getting the direct reference, but still find it funny.
I know. What is the film? I can't remember what the film is called. Anyway, yeah, we put it in the notes or something afterwards. But yeah, I mean, it isn't just the events that are happening that are crazy. It's just the energy with which everything's dealt with. So so for people who haven't seen the film that are just listening to this podcast, because I imagine there will be a lot of people who won't.
It is, before we start, it is free, available on internetarchive.com. And
it's a very good copy. It's like HD.
It's very good. So it's none of those SD rip-off ones.
If you want to go and have a look at it on there, go and have a look at it on there. There's basically this guy and his family running this guest house.
You retry and do my plot summary?
No, I'm just doing it for context for people so they can understand some of the shit we're going to talk about.
Because Adam's had no context.
None. The guy and his family run this guest house in the middle of nowhere. They were sort of promised that there was going to be this big road that would come through past their guest house so that loads of visitors would come, and they're just not coming, and business is far from booming, and then guests do start turning up, but every guest that turns up dies. The man comes by himself, he seems very glum, very low, and he kills himself after singing a song also. A sumo wrestler checks in with his underage girlfriend. He's having sex with her, has a heart attack having sex with her. He dies, and then she is crushed underneath his weight. And then a family come with like kids, and it appears that they're going to hang
Very
themselves. Very dark.
And cough. The kid's got a cough.
Yeah. And the owners are like, well, this is just our lot now. People come here to die. And I thought, man, that is actually in itself a cool concept for a film.
Yeah.
Alone.
And they just kind of embraced it.
Yeah. But you could take the essence of that. I think there will be a lot of people who wouldn't like this because of the way that it's executed. And that's fine. But the core concept could be translated out to dramas or thrillers and whatnot, and treated seriously. Like if it could be a drama. Literally, they are struggling for business, but everyone who turns up dies, and you don't play it for laughs. And it's like, we are cursed. This place is cursed. What do you do as owners of that house? Because ultimately, that's what they were doing. Despite all the song and dance numbers, the flashiness, the craziness of everything, they were a family that were trying to survive together. And the only way they could do that was bury these fucking bodies and pretend that shit wasn't happening. Because they weren't criminals. They didn't do any criminal shit.
No.
I mean, apart from covering up the debts.
Yeah.
Apart from that.
They wouldn't get charged with it, but it's like, why are you burying them?
Yeah. Why didn't you phone this in?
Yeah. But to the fact that, so this family comes along, because they're at the point now where they think people are just going to die whenever they come to the house, so they expect this family to die. The little boy's coughing, as you say. That the mum wants a piece of rope for some reason. And
cord.
The cord, yeah, cord.
Yeah. Strong cord, she says.
Yeah, the son and the granddad go outside and just start digging a hole. Even though they're in the house happily, this family, they're like, we've got to start digging a hole.
Yep.
Because
we
they're
know
going
what's going to happen.
Yeah. And to the fact that the family then see them digging the hole and they're like, thanks for your custom, and just walk away. And then someone falls into the hole.
I know, and then he just starts burying him, just on autopilot, starts burying him.
Yeah, so fucking unique and wonderful.
It is unique. It's one of those ones you do have to experience it.
Yeah,
it's,
definitely.
It is
so
tricky
much
to
happens.
talk about. It's tricky to talk about because you can't
This is one of those ones. This is why we don't talk about comedies, because
that's right.
You're just talking about the comedy beats.
Yeah.
And that is almost like what I feel like I want to do and just talk through it. But as well, I do think there's a lot of just cool, interesting stuff to talk about just around the comedy stuff as well. It's just a very unique and interesting film. It's just the way that it executes it is really odd. Like just that you have these moments where it goes, it's almost like they didn't have the budget to do these massive action pieces or something. So
yeah, they didn't. That's why they use that stop motion. It
goes to like claymation, and these big action set pieces will be done with claymation puppets instead of the humans. And then, but they even execute that in such a great way where even those bits are funny, because you get this bit right at the end where all the family turns to the claymation apart from the granddad, and he's like, "Oh, why am I still human?"
Yeah.
It's just funny, But
also, like, there is so much that goes, like, considering this is the full film he did that year, didn't you say, Ben?
Three films that year.
And the amount of, like, stuff that goes into this film, like, all the claymation stuff must have taken forever to do. Like, rehearsing all those dance numbers, like, they're not like acting. It's like, you've got to rehearse it. You've got to know your step by step. It's like, that must be, taking, man must have worked flat out just for this, like.
I know, and the thing is, I haven't seen Itchy the Killer. One of you has, haven't you? Have you seen it? Yeah. So what's the style of Itchy the Killer?
Oh, it's very dark and serious, just over the top gore. That's all I remember. But it's not dark as in like I feel disturbed after watching that. It's just over the top.
You need to watch Visitor Q, because that shit is fucking disturbing. And weirdly, I thought, oh shit, this is a crossover of films. The guy, towards the end of the film, there's a guy who turns up who is an actual killer who killed someone, and he's hiding out at their guest house. That guy is the Visitor Q in Visitor Q.
Oh.
And I thought, oh shit, because I couldn't remember everything that happened in that film. I thought, is this his character? Are they following
kill
him
his
into
wife?
this film? He does a lot more than that, buddy.
Oh, okay.
A fuckload more.
Interesting. Okay, he's getting that watched.
Yeah, it's quite disturbing. Like it makes Audition look pale and tame.
Oh wow. Okay. Interesting.
I mean, I love this guy. I love that he's out there making films. However, he does that thing. Who's that filmmaker who churns out like a film every year? Was it Woody Allen for a long while? Just like with Woody Allen, they can't all be hits. I saw some bullshit from Mika a few years ago. Sukayuki Western, I think it was called. Awful. And that was a case of him having fun, clearly. Quentin Tarantino's in the opening minutes as an old man, done up as an old man.
Oh really?
Yeah, very annoying. And so Quentin Tarantino goes, there was a story that I once heard, and it
feel
goes
like
a
you
little
told me this
something
before.
like this.
Yeah,
I was like,
oh, God.
Fuck off, Quentin.
He loves an accent, doesn't he?
I know, stop trying to
The
do
problem
it.
is he literally cannot act.
No.
I know.
But Takeshi Miike is like, hey, I want you in my film, buddy.
Why is he Canadian? Okay, friend.
Yeah. But it's cool. It's cool that he's out there doing these films. Like, they're vibrant. They're fucking vibrant. It shows the beauty of world cinema, man. But whatever you think of the film, it's great that something like this exists out there and that there is the freedom for an artist out there to do it and create it. And like you said, Paul, make you feel something at the end.
Yeah.
I didn't quite feel the heart. I appreciated the dad character throughout because he when everyone else seemed mental all the time, the dad seemed quite normal by comparison. So he was kind of like my entry into it to be like, okay, you are the guy. I understand you.
You're actually trying to
with
run
you.
this hotel normally, and everyone else is just mental.
Yeah, and you're down on your luck. Like all your family seemed crazy. So at the end, that moment when he was, funnily enough, not the bit where he is bartering with Visitor Q for his wife's life and is like, take me instead. I was like, fuck me, man. I was really imagining being in that situation, thinking that's a horrible fucking situation to be in, because you would be so desperate and terrified but angry and want to do something, and you can't. So his acting was very good in that scene.
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
And then that is what's brilliant, is following it up with them thinking the son's been stabbed and is dying, and it's like this tiny little fucking paper cut. That's funny.
Yeah, that's very funny. But this is the thing. The wonderful thing about this story is it's this family who are at odds with each other because they're a bit unsure of why they're in this situation. The dad wanted to get this guest house and make a thing out of it, and no one seems sure about whether it's working or not. There's tension between them all. There's tension between them and the son, because they think that he's a bit of a thief because he did jail time. And through this time, these people start dying in the house. And yes, it's a very horrendous thing that's happening, but this thing brings them together and teaches them how to be a family again and how to love each other and like how to forgive each other and stuff like that. So when it gets to this moment where they think the son's been killed, and it's like they're just saying like, my son is like unapologetic love for his son in that moment, regardless of it ending on a joke. I felt that. And then it comes to the bit with the granddad at the end, and it just cuts. It gets to the end. We see all this moment where they're just in a safari where the house ended up with there's zebras and giraffes, and it's like the most random thing ever. It cuts to a shot of the granddad, and it says that following year granddad died, and it's like, what?
Yeah,
and it just suddenly cuts to this, and I'm like, man, what is this? And it starts talking about, one day man will lose the game of natural selection, and until then you just got to live. And there's this wonderful moment between them, and then granddad floats in the sky and they all go, yeah, and it's just like, what is, man, it's wild stuff, but I felt it. I felt that emotion in that scene, and it was wonderful.
I think I was just wanting the film to end by that point. Like, I appreciate it all, I enjoyed it all, but it was just like, I don't know. I think there's a thing with films just in general of like, if you're going to be over an hour 45, it almost needs to go to a committee of independent editors, and they all have to watch the film and they go, you know what? Yeah, you need your film to be longer than 1 hour 45 because you're actually telling stuff. And if not, they're like, no, come on, let's cut some fat off this, make it zippy, like make it There's just too many films now.
I want you to set up this committee, my friend.
Yeah, every film gets watch them and they go, no, you can edit some bits off that. Like, come on.
I didn't find any fat in this film. I enjoyed it and it zipped by.
I'll tell you, for the fat that there was would mainly have been songs, because everything that was happening outside the songs, I think, was cool. The first time Richard Sagawa turns up,
fucking hilarious,
very funny. But then when he returns,
he gets knocked out by some projectile confetti.
I thought he was dead. I thought he was dead
in the sky.
Yeah. I think
so funny.
When he came back later, that was the only time where I was like, I think I'm done with this joke already. It worked, but I feel like I'm done with it a little bit.
It's like, was that all just a dream the first time? Like, because he was only really in the musical number, wasn't he?
Yeah. He was in the musical, but then he comes back in the film.
Yeah, no, he comes back. But I thought the first time it was all a dream. Like, the mum was dreaming about this guy.
All a dream now.
Because, she was like a hopeless romantic, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, I just don't know.
She was hopeless. She was a nightmare.
See, but when he comes back, like, I can see what you mean, but I was kind of enjoying just the energy of him because he was such a batshit weird character, and especially when they go into this almost like junk place where it's got like a wonky coke bench, and it's supposed to be this wonderful love scene, and they start a new song, and it's about how beautiful she is, or whatever. But then he's just talking through it. He's not even singing. He's just singing through it, and then his nose starts bleeding, and it's like, what? And he's like, it's just the blood, just rushing to his faculties.
I know, yeah.
It surges uncontrollably. It's beyond reason. It's just, I found it funny, man. I thought it was hilarious.
It was the thing is, why I enjoyed it. I think you found it funny. Whereas I didn't find it too funny overall. I was enjoying it doing its thing. I was enjoying the wackiness of it. But I tell you why. I've just realised why I didn't like Richard Segura when he returned. It was because they relied too much on bubbly guts and diarrhea and shit jokes, and that's not my bag. That it went on for a bit too long. Mate, it went on for too long. It went on for about 15 minutes. He was bubbling away. Even when Grandad hit him over the fucking head, he was bubbling away.
He drank that swamp water, didn't he?
I know.
But he didn't have to sit on the toilet. He just had a bubbly belly, and then he rolled onto the bed and got the wallet, and that was it. No more.
The funniest thing in the film is the thing that happens right up top after Grandad hits the bird with the stick and it drops. The dad is on the swing going, guess will come, guess will come. Manic. He's fucking frantic. And then he just goes flying off the edge. That's
Swings
funny.
off.
That's comedy, baby. I love that. At that moment, that was when I was like, you got me. I'm in for this fucking thing. And there was loads of other just bizarre weirdness, like before anyone dies, when they're having dinner at the table. And the daughter's asking about where the rest of the deer is. Like, that's where I thought, oh, these are going to be monstrous people. What's happened here?
And that was just a funny little joke. It being the deer inside the wall, wasn't it? Just to kind of pacify the kid, not to scare her. Yeah. And then the fly went up the presenter's nose. I don't understand. Do you understand what the whole pixie bit was in the beginning?
No,
because it didn't have any bearing, right, on what happened.
No, it didn't. I mean, they cut the woman's uvula out.
Yeah, uvula
of the back of her throat. I know
the dangly bit, and but the thing is, so we're in the place where they're all eating lunch, or whatever, and this fairy thing pulls that thing out of her mouth. But the women who are like, they're almost like hikers or something. That they're the ones who walk past the hotel at the beginning. They're in that lunch hall. They see that happen. So it's like, it feels like it's connected in some way, but I just can't work it out.
I don't know. I think that's where a little bit of drugs may have come into play for Takeshi and Miike.
Yeah, there's definitely drugs involved in this film.
Yeah, I would say so. Because there is no reason other than budgetary to... how much more expensive would it have been to have actually done some shit and not use claymation? Because surely claymation's fucking expensive.
Claymation is great though. Yeah, you would think so, wouldn't you? That takes a lot of time. But I'm glad it was there because it just added another level of wackiness.
Well, of course. Yeah, of course. But the rationale behind it, I don't know. Because I don't know that it could have all been for budget reasons.
Yeah.
Because the end, the end with the mountain, the volcano erupting, like it's easier to do it with stop motion or claymation.
Yeah, of course. And you can almost believe that they did save the house because it was the claymation and the fact they're just holding the hand around the house and it's going to save it for some reason. And it's like, I agree because it was claymation. If it went to the reality, I'll be like, well, how's that going to work?
They were all protecting their home. That was it. The whole thing was they were fucking protecting their home. And it's just kind of beautiful that it's this Japanese tale of how far people will go to protect the family and make sure that the family is happy. Because the title "Happiness of the Katakuris" isn't misleading. It is that. It's the whole film is they just want to stay happy. They're trying to be happy despite everything that's going on, and they find their happiness at the end. And happiness comes in all fucking weird forms, like in this film, and that's kind of beautiful. That sentiment is very beautiful.
That literally how we start the film off, isn't it? It's the little girl speaking when she's an adult saying what makes a happy family.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, this is the journey. They've learnt to love each other and be happy in each other's company, I guess.
Yeah.
With their animals and giraffes and zebras.
I know. and if I should have known that, Paul, you'd buy back into the film if you hadn't, though, because we got zombies, pretty much. The undead.
We got zombies. Incredible ending. What an incredible ending. Such a... Just all the bodies hanging out. I was thinking, is this going to turn into a zombie film now? It's not. It's more like a thriller music video than anything.
It is like a thriller music video, yeah. all of the scenes are just fucking weird and wacky, and there's lots of cool stuff to just be looking at in a scene when it's happening. The suicide song was the best because it was so fucking unexpected, not realising that it was coming, not realising that the film was about to do that. So to be blindsided like that was awesome. How did you feel about the fat fucking sumo wrestler basically fucking an underage girl, and that being used?
It doesn't need to be she doesn't need to be underage.
They literally show him fucking her.
Yeah,
I know. The son's bloody watching him do it. But I think
that's his crime.
Ending, he falls off the ladder. That's his punishment. The ending with the fact that she's just underneath him still.
Yeah, that's
it's
funny.
Just like, what do you say? He popped out?
Yeah.
So he kept saying,
I thought they meant his willy.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And it's like, no, it's the woman popped out. Yeah.
But why did he say he popped out?
I don't know, but it was funny.
Yeah. And then they were hanging the sumo wrestler out the window, and they're like, why are you worried about breaking him? He's dead. Just drop him.
And they did. I thought they were going to crush Grandad for a second.
I know. Grandad thought they was going to crush him as well. He was worried.
Yeah,
there was just no need for it. And
I think it's one of those things with the Japanese culture. This always a recurring theme that young girls with older men. I always see it in Japanese films and Korean films, actually.
I mean, that's in fucking American films, mate.
Yeah, well, yeah, because it's true. But like, not as in I'm saying that in an American film, it would be a topic of conversation.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Where in a Japanese film, it's just like
it just happens
every day. Oh, person's doing this.
Yeah.
We're not going to judge him. He's just doing it.
There's definitely that sort of fetishization of younger girls in Japanese culture.
That schoolgirl kind of look. Yeah. 100%.
It's more of a prominent thing over there.
Yeah, for sure.
But like you say, yeah, I mean, it didn't have to be an underage girl that he was with.
No, it didn't.
Although it did for the purpose of the plot point being that the reason they were coming there is they had to go somewhere where they wouldn't be seen and caught, so they went to this.
But he could be just having an affair, or they could be just doing anything else. They don't have to be.
It's because he was very famous. He was a famous sumo wrestler, so he wanted to be very obscure.
I don't know how sumo wrestlers can legitimately have sex. I mean,
pops out.
surely they don't go on top like he did in this film. They're far too big for that. And like, how does he even position himself? There's no way.
She probably died before that. He even died himself.
That probably has happened before in the past with really overweight men keeling over mid-coitus and killing the person underneath them.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
The thing that's really fucking weird about this episode we're doing right here is the film has so
speaks
much
more than the conversation.
Yes, it really does. Like conversation is like rendered pointless.
It's almost like we should have done a watch along of this film.
Oh well, I mean that would have been interesting.
Yeah. It's weird because it's like us talking about it doesn't serve justice if you haven't seen the film. So if we're talking about it, we're like, this is just what happened, and it's like, well, we're not going to do it justice. Seeing it is the actual enjoyable element.
Yeah, the experiencing of it.
Yeah, it's like, and it is what it is. What we're talking about, that is what it is. So us kind of dissecting it is not going to do anything.
No, it's hard.
Yeah,
because it is what it is. But then there's films that are very relatively straightforward that we could talk about for fucking hours and hours and read shit into this, that, and the other. But it is, you're right, Paul. It's because it is the reason we stay away from comedies, is because it is hard to not just go, oh, remember this bit. But then we did fucking Dead Sushi, and that was a blast.
But again, that's like a wild ride.
I look forward to seeing which sushi or Katakuris was preferred. In fact, I know that Katakuris was preferred by Paul.
Yes, you know that, and that's probably half the reason why we got more conversation out of Dead Sushi, because I took against it a tiny bit more than I still liked it, but I didn't 100% like it.
We need Adam to be taking us to task here, going, "Hey, what the fuck are you talking about? That was a piece of shit."
But the thing is, I didn't dislike it. I enjoyed it, but I just thought, okay, I've seen this film now. What more? Are you
how
offering
could you?
me?
There's so much to see in this film. It's never-ending randomness.
Okay, I get what's going on here. You're not like offering much more. You're just repeating the same thing. That's kind.
Mate, you are just being consistent in your dislike of anything musical. For someone who loves music so much,
it just
doesn't
long.
get on board with musical films.
Yeah.
It really wasn't that long though, Adam. Like I know it was a bit long, but not
just
that.
under. It's like 1 hour 55.
It wasn't an hour 55, was it? It was an hour 45.
It's like an hour 55.
I think that's reasonable.
113 minutes.
113.
So it's like 53 minutes. Yeah, hour 53.
What is it by for me?
I think Paul's going to be the one who actually thinks this is the best. Because it 100% sounds like you had a whale of a time with it, which is a very pleasant surprise.
Yeah, it was a very pleasant surprise for me. It kind of just clicked. It just clicked for me, and then it didn't have to do much to kind of usher me along the rest of the film after that.
No, there we go. I remember being at uni, I think, when I used to get the Tartan Asia Extreme DVDs and always seeing this one. And for some reason, I never fucking bought it. I don't know why. Yeah. It was one of those ones where I'm going to buy it next time, and I would never fucking buy it. I don't know how to recommend this to someone. I think someone like Julio would not like it, and that was just that. There's just no point.
Yeah. Well, even try. It's a hard one. I think it's definitely one of those ones where it's hard to choose whether you pick someone who would definitely like it. I think it'd go either way.
It could go either way.
It's so diverse in the tones, in the genres,
and
the mediums they're using.
Yeah,
it's an odd one, but very enjoyable for me.
Very enjoyable. I'm glad that I was going to call him Kitano. Mike is out there making wild shit. I don't know if he still is. I assume. Well, I saw a film of his a few years ago, but I don't know if he's actively working on shit now. What have you seen by Mike before?
This is the only film I've ever seen by him before.
You ain't seen Audition, Adam?
No, this is the first one I've seen of his.
He did One Missed Call. He did the original One Missed Call.
Oh, did he? Oh.
Yeah, which was just fine. That was fine.
I've only seen Audition and Itchy the Killer. That's the only two I've seen other than this.
Sukiyaki Western Django. That's the Western that Mike did.
Oh, okay. I remember you speaking about it now. That was a roundup, right?
Yeah, probably because I
yeah.
just really thought it was awful.
Yeah, worst of the month must have been.
Yeah. Well, I need to see Ichi the Killer to complete that set of films that he released that year. First Love, that's the good one. First Love was a good one. I saw that one at London Film Festival. That was very good. But I mean, looking down his filmography, Mike's got Ace Attorney, for fuck's sake. He's done a movie version of Ace Attorney. Have you boys ever played that?
No.
Ace Attorney, yeah, it's a game on your phone. You can get it. Paul, you might like it. I don't know if you would like it, Adam, where you play an Ace Attorney and you are in these cartoonish setups where someone's died and you have to defend them or prove someone's guilt by asking questions, certain questions, etc., and the judge can shout you down and whatnot. I don't know how they made a movie out of it. And it just seems like that's going to be one that just sucks. That can't be a good film.
It doesn't sound like it'd be good.
It's a good game. You should get it. It's free. Just download it on your phone. It's a phone game. It's good. Ace Attorney. Then you have to start paying for content, and I checked out. But yeah, I mean, the film is what it is, and you need to just go and experience it. We can't really say much more on it. But if you want to check out the original it was based on, it's called The Quiet Family.
The Quiet Family. I'm interested now.
1998, and it was not a musical.
The Quiet Family.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it's a parody. The tagline is The Ruthless Comedy.
What, for The Quiet Family?
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
And the genre is thriller, crime, comedy, horror.
I feel like that Japanese version, if that tagline was on the Japanese poster, I don't think it would be that funny. I think it would be a very specific, reserved Japanese style of comedy, like the opposite of this one.
It's got Choi Min-sik and Song Kang-ho in it as well. It's two great fucking Korean actors, so I'm putting up to watch this.
Well, there you go. Yeah, Song Kang-ho is good, yeah.
And so Choi Min-sik is old boy.
Have to buy it. Yeah.
I think we're ready to wrap this film up, right?
I think we are. I think it's hard. It's not because it's a real tricky one.
It's a tricky one, and it's crazy that we've gone from Donnie Darko, which is the most expansive kind of reading, to kind of feel where it gets to this. It's like, I can't even read into this film. It just is what it is.
I propose we all sing the karaoke song together right now.
I'd love to.
Let's bring it up. Ready? Get it up on your phone.
Let's do it. What song is it? Which one?
The husband and wife when they're singing.
I got this far
because of your smiling face.
No, I simply followed you, Ace. Together.
How far have we come?
Before I knew it, I was happy. That sounds snappy.
All the hardships are long forgotten.
Dreams and joys and so much more.
But your gentle, true heart
is my solace.
A true, gentle heart are our solace.
That's the end.
That's the end of the song.
On the solace. Well, that was nice, boys and girls, wasn't it? I hope everyone played along at home.
Everyone's turned off.
I think people will love that. I think they would say that was worth waiting for.
That was the highlight of the episode.
It's the highlight of our fucking year.
On that note, should we give our scores?
Go on, Adam.
I'm giving this film a 7.
A 7, mate. You are so fucking baffling.
Why? I just said I enjoyed it. I just said it was too long.
That felt like it should have been a 5 or a 6.
I didn't say I disliked it. I just said it went on too long.
All right. Well, I'm giving it the 8. It was very satisfying, very true, very slim. I enjoyed it very much. It was a great experience. It was an 8.
Why are you just jumping over me? It was my turn.
Oh, sorry, mate. Sorry.
So I really, really enjoyed it. And I'm saying right now it's a high 8, right? And I'm thinking I want to watch it again because it's teetering on the edge of maybe I love it.
You'll have to watch the original and then rewatch it and see.
Yeah, maybe it might add a little bit of flavour. It's a very high 8 for me. I thought it was wonderful. So we'll put a pin in it. Might go up high one day.
A pin in that. That sounds good. Anyway, that means we average out at a 7.66, which is a 7.7. It's decision time, boys. Better or worse than Revenge? Adam hasn't seen it. This
Skip
is
over.
better than Revenge. Okay.
It's just got to skip over.
Yeah. Revolver.
This is better than Revolver.
Let's see what Adam gave Revolver, so then I don't have to think about it too much.
Probably say this is better. I think I probably gave Revolver a 6 or something.
You gave Revolver an 8.
Oh, okay.
So Revolver's better.
Can never remember. And
I then have to make a decision about whether Revolver's better or this. Well, it was never going to beat what was next for me anyway, so I'm going to say Revolver is better, but with the option to revisit that in the future.
What film's next?
The next film was Streetcar Named Desire.
Which it would have beaten.
It would have been because of you two fucking Philistines.
You held it back for that reason.
What did Adam give Streetcar? Oh, yeah, 6. Fucking hell, yeah. I held it back. Yeah. I can't be having Katakuris beating Streetcar Named Desire. Although it's worthy of its place too.
Yeah, there you go. Wonderful stuff. Well, I very much enjoyed that as a final pick.
Yeah, it was
of
good.
2024. And
I found solace in your heart talking about it.
I found loads of solace as well. Yeah. Well, we should tell everyone what we're doing next.
What are we doing next?
We're doing Home Alone live commentary. But it's not the Home Alone you think of. We've already done Home Alone 1. We've already done Home Alone 2. We've all done Home Alone number 3. So you know what it's time for.
4.
We're doing number 7.
Home Alone.
There probably will be a number 7 by the time we get to it. They're only on to 6, aren't they?
I think
so. Yeah.
I was at the Komodo Mayo Christmas Spectacular on Sunday, and in the lead up to it, they were deciding what was going to get the title for worst Christmas film ever made. So people were voting in polls and stuff. And Home Alone 4 and Home Alone 3 were both in opposing semi-finals. But the general public decided that Santa with Muscles is a worse film than Home Alone 4. So Home Alone 4 didn't get a chance to square off against Home Alone 3 in the final.
Oh, there you go. Well,
maybe we need to do Santa with Muscles next year.
Mate, me and Jenny are already like, we're going to watch Santa with Muscles. If it's that bad, we got to watch it. It's Hulk Hogan.
Sounds like a plan.
Hulk Hogan.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
As Santa, I guess.
As Santa.
Yeah.
Well, no, as a guy, as a CEO of a company who gets hit on the head, I think, and then believes he's Santa.
Lost his mind then.
Yes. And that'll be coming up.
Yep. Home Alone 4, that's what you got to expect, everyone. And also a wonderful yearly roundup that we do every year. That's coming as well. It's all the festivities. They're all happening now. That's all you're getting. Yeah.
But before we do that, we got to wrap up 2001.
Yes, we do.
With a bow on top for Christmas.
Yes, we do.
So, I haven't got my best line, so I'll have to leave that till last. So let's start with best character, shall we? Who is our favourite character from all these 2001 films? A reminder for listeners who are playing along at home, the films that you have to pick from are, of course, Happiness of the Katakuris. You have Donnie Darko. You have Brotherhood of the Wolf. You have La Ciénaga. And you have Trouble Every Day. Who is your favourite character out of them?
Vincent Gallo.
Is that your man? Is that your man at the moment? That horrible beast?
No, it's Mr. Donnie Darko. Donnie Darko is the best character, and of course, it's one of my all-timers, and I think it's just a very interesting film, very interesting character, and I just absolutely love it.
Well, guess what? He's my favourite character too.
Good.
I'm going to go different, and I'm going to go for Poochie the dog. You got me a point in the quiz.
You silly boy.
Did you worry that Poochie was going to die?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was going to fall into the... I thought it was supposed to be lava, but it wasn't. It was just a rock slide, was it?
Yeah, it was a little slide.
Yeah.
Okay. What was your best scene, Paul?
My best scene is undoubtedly my best scene is the Mad World scene at the end of Donnie Darko. It's just filled with so much emotion, beauty, and you know what? Can I just say something that I realised the other day? I was listening to our episode, and it occurred to me that Donnie Darko, the last thing he did was have arguments with his family before he died. He died on an argument. And it makes me feel like, oh my... He called his mum a bitch. And he had an argument with his sister. And he got sent to his room.
Oh, you mean in that first time? Like, yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
And it's like, and just to think like that's the last thing that the mum ever said to him, it just made me think, oh man, just heartbreaking even more.
Yeah, that's true.
She didn't have all that beautiful moment about her just being happy that she was his son. That never happened in her time.
That she was his son.
Yeah, she was his son.
That's adding another layer to it, mate. That's through the rabbit hole. Very good. Adam, what about you?
It wasn't. I don't know what I was going to say, but it's now us doing the karaoke. To happiness.
You can always rely on Adam to just come out with the silly answers. My best scene, and Adam won't get this, and maybe I won't say it in detail because otherwise it'll be a spoiler, but and he'll forget this anyway, it's the arm reveal in Brotherhood of the Wolf.
Oh, right, yes. Yeah, okay. Very good.
And the context of it, what it means.
Well, I can't spoil it.
No, I know. But I'm just saying that. Yeah. I'm saying that, all of that.
Yeah.
And it's that one, out of all these films, that's a scene that stayed with me for decades.
Yeah. I can see that, yeah.
Best line, Adam.
That's nostalgia, baby.
That's nostalgia.
Ooh, best line.
Was it that line in Cianaga that you really like?
Yeah, that whole film.
Yeah.
Just blew me away.
The Cianaga was never getting a look in this end of year wrap up. There is nothing that film has to offer.
I don't know actually. I always struggle with this one.
You got write it down next time you're watching one of our films for the podcast.
You told him this last episode.
Simply take a highlighter to the screen, Adam.
They were all foreign films apart from Donnie Darko, so.
Do you want me to give mine while you wait?
Could do it. Oh no, it's from Donnie Darko. It's going to be you're not a bitch, you're bitching.
Oh baby, you just got my line. Yes, you did. It just embodies the beauty between the mum and dad characters. You're not a bitch, bitching, but not a bitch.
Ah, did I say on the episode that he ad-libbed that?
Oh, did he? Even better.
Wasn't in the script. Your favourite line wasn't in the script.
There you go. Aren't always.
They aren't always. Well, mine is also from Donnie Darko. And it's an exchange of lines. It's, why are you wearing that stupid bunny suit? Why are you wearing that stupid man suit?
Yeah, that was a close one.
There we go. You got any overarching theme for this year?
I don't think so.
I've jammed something together. There's not too much to go on.
Go on.
Animals remixed, remastered, recreated. Why? Because we got the dog here as claymation. We got the bunny, Donnie Darko. We've got the thing in Brotherhood of the Wolf Pool, which I obviously can't say.
Yeah.
This is where it gets tenuous. The dog in La Ciénaga had 3 rows of teeth, which is abnormal. Yeah. Remember?
Yeah.
And the only one that I can't connect to is Trouble Every Day. Although they're vampires are bats, so they might be batty.
He used a dog as a pawn in his game just to try and get his wife back. So he...
Oh, yeah. And he will probably
He
suck
was
that dog
manipulating...
dry.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Dirty Vincent
Yeah.
Gallo. Well, that was our 2001, everyone. So what a wonderful time it was. And that is the last year we're doing in this year before we do a new round next year. So isn't that fun?
Yeah, man. I want one of our patrons to send us back to 1917.
I know, that someone's got to send us back that far, yeah.
And that means people can suggest films that are like 3 minutes long and films that are like 5 fucking hours long, because you would not believe how long some of them silent era films are. They had nothing to say and hours to say it back then.
Well,
so we'll see you on our final episode.
Yes, we'll see you next time for Home Alone 4. And other than that, we better tell you about our wonderful patrons. We've got a Patreon, www.patreon.com/filmbusters. We have some beautiful people over there, and you can join the family just like the likes of Tia from the Alien Effect podcast.
You can also join Luke Bennett.
You can also join Francis Iberini.
You can join Steve and Mark from Movie Drone. They're coming back for Christmas.
They're Christmas. Or are they? Maybe
Who
they're
knows?
selling us a lie. We'll find out.
You can join Brent from Home Video Hustle.
Oh, yes. And Luke Human.
Oh yes, you can join Sean Pan and Nicholson from 3 Men and a Mixtape.
Also join Nerd Revert.
You could join Julio from The Contrarians. You all know Julio. He was with us last week, damn you.
Yes, you can join Jamie Russell from Movie Jewel. He's going to be heading up the next round of next year.
Oh, he
Yeah.
is. And he's joining us.
He is joining us.
You can, and finally join Katie and OT from the For Your Reference podcast.
Filmbusters.